My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. We are the makers of Supreme Ambient Rejection Screen Paint 12, and also to the new Advanced Ambient Light Rejection 17s. Yeah, so this morning got up, was getting everything prepped, everything ready. Remember grabbing the remote control or setting everything up, and didn't remember exactly where I actually set it down at. And apparently it was actually under one of the sloths, one of the toys over there. So like I said, it's one of my biggest problems when I do videos. People notice that I have a habit of setting things down. I'm moving at 100 miles an hour. I set something down in a weird, quirky place, and I'll lose it, just like that. All right, so I got the camera turned to the side because I actually want to block off some of this from the projector really quick so nobody can see the screen. So anyway, yesterday I talked about making the screen darker, then if we can make it even darker, make it even darker. I liked how the technology is producing the white levels. I like how the colors popping off the screen. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if we can get the white levels heightened to this level, can we make the screen darker without basically affecting the white levels? So the small screen right here you're seeing, keep in mind that's rolled on. Don't roll the screen on. I just do it because I don't feel like spraying the screen on, but don't roll the screen on. It's a spray on application, as I said before. That right there is the darker version of it. So out of curiosity, and this is only being done, we're doing this live, but I'm not going to be doing a lot of live demonstrations. Next videos are all mostly are going to be done pre-recorded due to the fact that sometimes my voice is not that clear or the picture becomes distorted. So, and on top of that, I don't think we really have to do any more live demonstrations. We've done everything you could possibly name under the book when it comes to backing our technology. If they don't believe it, then that's their pet peeve, not mine. Anyway, so let's move on from there. So, how dark is it? Very dark. Extremely dark. All right, so now this is not to do a side-by-side comparison because I'm not doing that in this demonstration. Let me see. Much darker than the other one. Yeah, it could be darker. Could we get darker? That's the thing. That's the thing. It's always dark enough. Could we go darker? How much darker? We're going to have to add to it to make it even darker than it already is. It's already pretty much. So I'm just sizing it up here. Then, oh, thank you. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. Didn't want to show that off yet. All right, so how much darker is it? That's how much darker it is. It is actually now the 12, the Luminous, that is actually 3 times darker than a 12. This version is now twice as dark as the Luminous. So yes, we can go darker. Now, big question. Will the brightness and all that suffer? That's what, a lot of people are curious, like, okay, if you go darker on the screen, is it possible you're going to be losing white level? As I said before, as one goes up, one must go down. But when you have coating technology, it doesn't really make a difference because you can choose exactly what you want to heighten on your technology, which we have. So let's show you. Okay, so now I can remove what's on my projector. Let's come over here and move the screen over a little bit. And get my, come back right a little bit here. little bit more. Back some more. There we go. Just right. Let's see if my theory, well, not my theory, we say God's theory, because I told you that, you know, I wanted to make it darker, but I have to wait and see what he decides on what we can do. So let's see what we got here. And we have it. So I can see automatically from the door, from the colors, that the screen is automatically producing that it's going to be able to pick up exactly what we need to pick up with no problem whatsoever. And the color is clean. It's not too dark. It's not basically, what's the word for it? Dirty. The image is clean. So now we have a screen now. Now the Luminous has been upgraded. The Luminous has been upgraded to a darker version. And it's still maintaining its white level. I tell you, for the naysayers, and not to be rude here, this has got to hurt. Now, as I said before, this has to be sprayed on. I did this with a roller. Like I said, don't roll the screen in. You get a much more smoother and surface if you basically spray it on. Don't roll it on. And it was never meant. This technology was never meant to be rolled on as it is. So now we have one of the darkest screens with one of the highest white levels. Thank you, Jesus. No sooner than I was talking about this yesterday, and I said, you know what? I said, I'm not going to say anything. I'll let my Lord handle it. He'll tell me what to do. Sure enough, I got up this morning. He said, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to put together. This is how you're going to display it. And here we go. We have a screen now darker than the Luminous and producing amazing white levels. God is good. So now I got to make more of this stuff, and I got to spray the screen behind me back there because that has to be redone. It's a good thing I didn't start spraying the rest of the screens with the stuff right here, because you know, if we could have made it darker, it had to be even more better. So the contrast levels. At this particular point, well, it's kind of baffling because, like I said, 12 produce insane contrast levels. And I see the high-end screens that we test against that, they struggle with 12s. So now you got this other screen that produces a high contrast level and excellent white levels, and now you got one even darker. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be the Luminous, the one we call right there, the new technology is just going to be advanced to a darker shade, that's all. I was curious to see if we could change the shade, make it extremely dark, and still be able to maintain the white levels, and we can do that. And this is the reason why this demonstration had to be done live, because like I said, the stuff we do in our demonstrations, as I explained before, become challenges to everybody else. Not to be rude or disrespectful, but it is what it is. And some people find it extremely hard to understand if it's actually real. So like I said, do a live demonstration, you can't fake live. They'll come up with all kinds of theories, so it gotta be this, it gotta be that. At the end of the day, you got to understand this, you naysayers. And not to be disrespectful, but I put my trust in my Lord and Savior. He's never led me wrong. All my ideas come from him. So, like I said, you got to gripe with me, you got to gripe with him. Thank you, Lord. That is absolutely, I didn't think we could go any darker. That's crazy. I would love to see this on a sheet of plexiglass. If I can get my hands on plexiglass, if it's possible to get my hands on plexiglass, if I can have a piece of plexiglass. So I would love to see this on plexiglass. Sorry about that bump, the daylight's out of my stand. See the 12, another 12. There's the 12 right there. There's the Limitless, that's the first edition, which is now going to be changed over to this. You see how dark that edge is to that screen right there? It is actually the same color as my sofa right here. Now, as I said before, when this technology launches, with all of them, the 17s, they will have instructions with them. These are spray-on applications, prime and spray-on applications. They're also front and rear, actually rear technology. So you're saying front, you can see the front already. So it's automatically rear technology. I'll be doing some demonstrations later on with the Ultra Short Throw and my ViewSonic Short Throw projector. Yep, God blessed us to have that coding technology, blessed us to be able to learn how to heighten certain levels of the screen, so now we can make the surface as dark as we want. Now after seeing this, with the ability to make a surface this dark and still maintain the white levels, the possibilities are going to be endless now on what we could do with it. You might as well call it OLED-like, because it is literally that black. I just sat there and said, well, a couple months ago, I said, one of these days, God's going to bless me with a screen that's going to be super dark, but it's going to have amazing white levels. And here it is. That's how good God is. That's why he has plans for me to take my business off YouTube and expand it. He's got plans for this. Man, what's this? Now we get gaming on the other screen. Now I need to coat the whole screen now. I gotta have it on a bigger size now. Much bigger size. Ooh, the colors. Question. How dark is the new technology? That's how dark it is. That's how dark that technology is. It is now one of the darkest screens that we ever had. The darkest screens. We don't have anything that's that dark. My goodness, this stuff is crazy. And the white level is amazing. Now, I suggest when you paint the screen, we're going to have instructions on how to do it. Like I said, it's very easy. It does require a Wagner paint sprayer. I like the 250. It's a very good paint sprayer. You don't have to be a professional. It's like the equivalent of spraying an aerosol can. So it's very easy to use. There's no way you can mess it up. And if you feel that the 17s are too challenging, like I said, we're not going to be getting rid of our 12s. They're going to stay in place because that's a very easy application for people to use. So let's finish this thing strong. God's amazing. What a way to start off 2021 with one of the darkest screens now. I might have to convert every screen in this house to that black technology. I'm gonna have to. I love my blue, I really do, but that's gonna go black very soon. Can we go darker? God was like, yes, you can. So launch date is still going to be the same. It's just going to be much darker now. Kind of like got a free upgrade. When you think about it, got a free upgrade. Well, let's see what else we can do with this thing. What else we got on here? What's this right here? Ooh, I didn't do this one. Or did it? Look at that. The bottom of this right here that's not being hit is actually the same color as the border around the screen. The exact same color as my speakers, the exact same color as my sofa, and the black background. Yeah, Luminous, perfect name for it. Perfect name for the technology. But just look at this, see the screen? And look at the part of the screen that's not being hit. Look how black it is compared to the dark areas in the environment. Matches my sofa with no problem. Same color as my sofa, same as the border. That's all black that screen is. It's matching that border, all this with no problem. And look how it's maintaining that white level. Because in order for you to be able to produce, like I said, beautiful bright images, you have to have a level of white. And we know there's going to be people out there that are going to try to debunk our theory. Oh, please try. Because there's a secret to this screen that we didn't show you about. So we're going to wait till everybody puts in their 2 cents, and then we're going to show you one of the capabilities that this technology has. That if you did it the wrong way, and I'm pretty sure you did, it's going to be quite embarrassing. Told you, we don't show you everything. Never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Oh, this is definitely going to get a few contracts. I got 2 contracts right now sitting in my inbox that I got to go look over right now. Because I didn't think the screen could get darker. Well, some guy made a comment like, well, can you go darker than this? And I'm thinking, you know, I got to wait till my Lord tells me. Sure enough, I got it this morning. He gave me the ingredients on how to make it darker and still maintain the white levels. As I said before, when you're developing black technology, 2 problems you're going to have. If you make the screen, people sometimes put something to try to heighten the white levels. And the problem they have with that is that it basically takes away from the contrast and causes the contrast levels to fail. And if they put too much of whatever they mix into it to make it blacker, then what happens is you take away from the white levels and you make the screen too dark. It has to be a perfect balance in between. But as I said before, we have codes now. We have a coding formula that we developed that allows the projector to see color. So it has nothing to do with the surface. And this is why you're looking at a super jet black screen producing amazing white levels. Where the screen is not so dark you can't see it. Except for the difference between this and the 12. The 12 had some of it. This has 100% of that code in it. Now this was rolled on, but as I suggested, do not roll the screen. It's a spray-on application. I did a roll on because I really didn't feel like pulling out the paint sprayer and just spraying just one of those spots. I am, on the other hand, when I do the bigger screen behind me, I'm gonna recoat that one. And I'm definitely gonna be recoating. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna do it on camera. Now I got two screens in here I gotta do. So I gotta prime my screen behind me, my 126 in the window. That's gonna be turned into a Luminous. I'm going to be coating this screen right here, and my 235.1 are going to be actually coated with the new technology. Why not? And then when I have time, the 135 is going to be converted, and I'm going to do my motorized projection screen, that one too. Actually, I'm changing everything in the house to 17s. Show you how dark that screen is. That is way darker than the previous screen in the back.
Here's to those that rise and shine, to friendly faces doing more than their part, and to those who still enjoy the little things.
Let's try. White Snowstorm, 4K.
Getting that for you too.
Here we go. Oh yeah, it already from the door, from just looking at the beach, just popped up. This is going to be interesting. Yep, automatically from the door. The minute I saw the beach pop up, I was like, yep. So you're talking about actually darker than the previous screen right here. This is the previous one now. That one's going to be upgraded to this. Just right there, upgrade to that. I mean, anything, we're not going to charge you anything extra. It's just seeing if we can get the screen darker without the white levels suffering. And the white levels are not suffering because you know why? It's code. It's code, people, code. To make a screen be able to see white levels. But in order to understand how that works, like I said, you got to crack open some books and you got to understand the physics of light. That's what you have to do. You have to understand the physics of light. You got to crack some books open. Let me see what else we got on here. Goes farther. People think, oh, it's just mixing this and mixing that together and blah. No, no, no. It goes way beyond that. Way, way, way beyond that. Those are baby steps. When people are mixing different this together, that's baby steps. You're not even understanding the whole theory of the physics behind it all. You're way off course. Oh yeah, everybody's been there. I was there myself. Like I said, when I first started off, I was there mixing different paints together. No, you're way, way off, way off. You got to break it down. You got to go farther than that. You got to break it down to the beginning, and then you got to start from work your way up. That's where you have to start off, and you have to leave all that behind. That's the old traditions. And for people sit there and say, oh, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. You're looking at a jet black screen that's literally darker than the screen behind me, and it's matching my sofa, the border around the screen, and it's producing a white image. So good luck arguing with me on that theory right there when you're actually watching it live. It goes beyond that. But people, the reason why they won't get it, and the same thing with these projections companies, big companies out there, they got the same, they're boxed in these little boxes. This is how I see them. I see them trapped in these small little boxes. They can't go outside the box. And every screen I see from every company is always that same material, that they start off with that white screen, then the gray screens, and as it moves up, it gets a little bit more reflective surface to it. And then when they get up to the high-end screens, it has this kind of reflective, shiny surface. Why do you use that stuff to begin with? That stuff is just useless. And the reason why it's useless is because if any light hits it, it's generating too much white light. That means the colors automatically wash out and fail. Then you're testing your technology against another white screen, which that is not something I would base my technology off. A white surface? Are you kidding me? I mean, you should really be testing it against a gray surface. That's what you should be testing it against. Because while you're testing your screens against white screens, I'm over here testing your top and best technology against our screens. So what do you think is going to happen at the end of the day? You know, we're using your top technology, your best, your flagships to test against our technology, to advance our technology, to make it better, to advance it, to see how we compare. I'm not comparing to a white screen. That's just completely stupid. Anything can beat a white screen. So this means because this screen is physically this dark, there is no screen that's going to be to lay against it. And on top of that, consider the fact that it's going to have to produce a high enough white level to match the screen. And that's going to be a problem because, like I said, if people are still thinking the same way I think they're thinking, yeah, that's going to be a serious problem. They're not, I can't explain it too. Because if I try to explain it, then I give up too much information. But like I said, you got to crack open some books. You got to study the physics of light. And physics of light basically explains a lot of things about how projectors work and how the environment works and how the product interacts with the light in the environment. All that basically affects the projector's performance. Not only that, you know what I mean, you have to consider the fact that if you look at the projector, just look at the projector. Just look at it. Do you know there's an image traveling that you can't see, an image traveling all the way across your screen that you can't even see, that basically will make contact with your screen and produce an image right there. Which means anything in this environment may affect the reds, may affect the blues, may affect the contrast. All that could be affected as that image is being projected from your projector from A to B. See, you have to study the physics of light on how it disrupts and how basically it could enhance the technology. That's why we have a screen that can take a direct hit from sunlight, because we figured out how to get around it or how to integrate the technology to use it. Once you figure that part out, and it's not easy, take a couple of years off your life. Got a good 6, 7 years to spare. You can figure it out. And a lot of prayer. Mostly a lot of prayer. A lot of prayer and a lot of faith in God. The more faith you put in God, the more you give him credit, the more advanced he allows you to be able to be. Sometimes not all the time. Sometimes we have to knock down a couple of pegs because we do get arrogant. All right, let's pop out of here real quick. People don't like it when I talk about God. They don't like it at all. Some people don't like it. Some people get upset, don't want to talk about God, I don't want to talk about him, this, that, and the other. It's funny, your plane's going down and you're plummeted to the earth, and you basically, now you find the time you want to talk to God. I find that interesting. Like I said, at the end of the day, we're all the same way. I was the same way too when I first started off. I thought I did everything myself and I had control over my own destination. Yeah, I was sadly mistaken. So my problem with me, my personal problem, is I can become very, very arrogant. Yep. You get big hit syndrome. And I have to remember where my technology comes from. Sitting there in a board meeting with a bunch of guys way back in the day, and the guy was like, "Oh, wait a minute, you go to school for chemistry? You got to have some kind of degree in chemistry?" I'm like, "Nope, no degree in chemistry, not one, not one. Never stepped foot in the classroom, never used a Bunsen burner. Well, I did use a Bunsen burner one time in chemistry. I was basic about it, but that was just making the basic nonsense you do. None of that. So where did you get the idea from? How did you figure all this out? Like, how could you figure all this out? Oh, got it from God." Now, if he sits there and he smirks at the table and laughs, I get up and walk away. Contract doesn't mean nothing to me. Don't want it. Anybody's going to disrespect my Lord, I don't have time to deal with you. But if the man sits there at the table and he goes, "Oh, you know what? You know what I mean? It's good to see a man that basically puts his trust in God." I signed a contract with that man. Some people are so busy chasing the dollar bill, they don't see the devil in wolf's clothing. No, it's the devil in sheep clothing. I got that one kind of mixed up, didn't I? I just want to get a piece of plexiglass. I tried to get a piece of plexiglass and almost came close to getting a piece. It was 4 by 8. Almost got a piece. And they canceled the order and hiked up the price. So, So I just want to see what this super black coating would look like on a sheet of thin plexiglass. That's when you got to have one of those projectors that come out from the ceiling, you know, because you don't show the projector off or nothing. You have it hidden, and people come and they see this huge sheet of black, sleek on your wall, and they're like, "What the freak is that?" Like, that's the biggest TV ever seen in my life, because of course they're gonna be staking it from the OLED. You're like, "No, it's not a TV. It's a projection screen." Hit the button, screen comes up. Look at that. Look how dark that is. I love that, man. I think this is the darkest we're going to be able to get. Then again, I can't say that either. But do we need to go any darker? That's the question. I don't think we do. I think we should be good right here. That's all stuck in my head now. It's gonna be in there for a while. Oh, let's see. Let's go over to come out of here. Doesn't whatchamacallit have? No. That's the other one. They got that video in the snow. Hold on for a minute. I saw one on the snow, but it's not on this video. It is on another one. I think it's the relax video. Had a good one on snow. Oh, let's go with the LG snow demonstration or snowboarding.
Getting that from YouTube.
I'm surprised it just butchered the daylights out of that one. Oh, it did go through. Nope, didn't affect the white levels at all. So, but I do advise you, you do want to basically spray, do it, and instructions are going to request for you to dark prime the screen and spray it in. Now, you don't have to like spray it in where you're actually literally painting the screen. No, it's a dusting. It's stuff that's highly concentrated. It's the done. I have to do a couple of demonstrations on how we're going to show you how to do it. So we'll put one on the website showing you how to do it, and then we'll put detailed instructions for you. Isn't that freaking crazy? That's crazy, isn't it? Never get used to that. Yeah, that's it. God is amazing. even darker than the freaking black logo that comes up. Look at this. It's literally darker than, usually when the screen projects contrast, this is supposed to be super dark and this is supposed to be lighter. The screen is physically so dark that this part is supposed to be using contrast. The physical screen is actually darker than the contrast the projector is actually being able to produce. Which now has me thinking that I may have to go get the 16,000 to 1 contrast. And if it does the same thing, that means the screen is physically darker than what the projector can actually produce. That is going to be a very interesting theory. All right, so come out of that one. Let's go with another one. I need to see facial. Clear this out.
A jar of Bertolli sauce and discover what's behind the Tuscan taste.
So to prove that theory, I'm going to have to bring out a 16,000 to 1 contrast projector because physically the screen is literally so dark that it's actually pulling up. The screen is actually darker than what the projector is able to produce when it comes to black levels. That is amazing. So in the containers, we got these black containers that we're buying for this technology. It is going to be beautiful. And the long agreement, I'm going to actually put on the side, and God I trust. I got ideas for this label already. This label is going to be insane. I can't wait. Oh man, this is good. Look at that. Look how black that board is. Crazy. Wow. Wow. Gotta go back there for a minute. Sorry about that. I just got back there. I'm always amazed by God's work. Look at that. Man, it's beautiful. God is amazing. Now I've gotten emails also too about customers asking about upgrading to the new 17. All you would have to do is just basically just spray over your 12 and that's it to upgrade. That's all. Ugh, man, I'm so happy with this. I cannot wait to do my gaming screen. Yes, it's amazing. All right, my fingers. Show you the distance of where my projector sits. I always have my projector as a distance. My projectors never sit close to the screen because I need to do distance throw on top of that. I never have my projectors. People think, oh, because the test screen is small, then that means he has the projector pushed up with the image is so small. No, I actually shrink the image and pull the projector all the way back so I can get a longer distance throw. So the projector has to deal with more ambient light. We don't make things easy in here for the screens. So once this is done on this screen, it's transferred over to the 100-inch screen. just before we do that screen, we need to see how it's going to react here. If it reacts great here, then it's transferred over to the larger screen. So that's an official 116.9 screen. And that's another test screen. Now, I need to get my hands on a sheet of maybe, I might do a 235.1. Yeah, because I got the ViewSonic, and the ViewSonic does 235.1. As a matter of fact, I got a short throw right here, just 235.1. So I think I'm going to do me a 235.1 little mini screen for some demonstrations off of. Just need a screen that's going to have to be 3 by 6 or 3 by 7, somewhere around that size. See, we're gonna have to do that and figure out, well, this should look really good on this black. See what I mean? You see this right here? This is what I'm pointing out right here. And a lot of people are not, I don't know if you've seen this or not. The screen is physically so dark that this is supposed to be a contrast level, right? The contrast level that the projector is outputting is black, but our screen is actually blacker than what the projector is able to put out. So I'm going to have to bring in 16,000 to 1 contrast. If it does the exact same thing on that projector, then that screen is literally so dark that it's actually pushing out a higher contrast level than what the projector can produce. It actually looks gray there, and this is an all black screen. It looks gray there and it looks black there. The only time you get that kind of effect, unless somebody has a border around their screen and the middle part of the screen is probably like a gray or something like that, that would cause that to react. But this screen is solid black all the way around. So that means the screen is physically so dark that the projector that's projecting the contrast is actually not matching the screen. That's impressive for a black screen, and still is able to maintain bright enough white levels so you can see his skin tone, the fire, all that stuff like that is needed. So now I got to go get me the 16,000 to 1 and see what would be the difference on that one. You know what's really interesting? And I'll show you something here. That's a 1080p projector, full 1080p projector. It has a 16,000 to 1. And that's a 720p right there, ViewSonic. That's 600 by 800 res, 720p that has a 20,000 to 1. The contrast is literally higher on that projector that's 720p than the projector that's full 1080p. Is that crazy or what? And that costs less. So the only difference is this one basically is 1920 by 1080p, and this is a 720p projector, 600 by 800 res. This one is 3,300 lumens. This one right here is 1,500 lumens. This one over here has a 20,000 to 1 contrast. This has a 16,000 to 1 contrast. That would have cost you $1,450, maybe $1,800 when it came out. That one would have cost you $459. And oh, by the way, that does 235.1. Is that crazy or what? That's what I love about ViewSonic. ViewSonic puts interesting stuff in their projector. So we're going to finish this off here, and I'm going to do some contrast demonstrations because I want to see where the black level lays at versus this screen. What if we do with the OLED? What I want to do, hold on, I'm going to do the other one too real quick before I do the OLED first. I want to see this one too. I'm always curious to see how bright the screen can go, being this dark. Look how bright that's, wow. Yeah, that's quite impressive. All right, I'm out of here. I was going to do the demonstration with the showing off the screens, difference in contrast levels and stuff. Should I do a contrast level real quick before I bail out of here? Let me see. LG Beta Fish demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Let me see this real quick. There we go. Yeah, it is. It's physically producing a darker contrast level than the physical projection from the screen. That is quite impressive. God is amazing. Starfield demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
4K fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you all for your time. And please how darker that is. I gotta go, and God bless. I gotta jump on Facebook now. All right.